right, let's talk about the bow hold for a second. Great bow hold has kind of what I call naturally distant fingers. Again, everybody's hand shape is different, but if you just flop your hand and you think of what is the hand shape of the hanging fingers if I'm not doing anything, that's kind of the distance of the fingers on the bow naturally. So you can start off with the pinky nice and round on the bow. Put your thumb just at the very beginning of the leather, nice and round. The third finger should go across, second and third finger go down, and here's the finger, and that's your bow hold. Okay? It may lean in a little bit, or sometimes if we're taking weight out, it may lean back a little bit, so it's flexible within it. But all the fingers are holding the bow. They're all responsible for the bow hold. Middle and thumb are approximately across from each other, and that thumb is flexible, so it's neither totally pried in this way, nor is it totally overbent and kind of gripping the bow, right? So it's more of a bow hold than it is a bow grip. Lastly, just the mechanics of the arm. So that would be how to achieve straight bowing, what the physical characteristics are, where to put your elbow, and then changes of bow, which some people, it's not really a mystery, but I think sometimes we make it a little more complicated. Okay, straight bowing. There are many straight bow methods. I have a whole YouTube video on that you can watch, and some other exercises that I can give you as well. But I wanted you to understand the mechanics of straight bowing, because that I think is the most important thing to realize. When the bow is straight, the body is not, because we have two joints, that we need to account for in our motions. So at the frog, we are primarily moving with the bicep, okay? And then at some point, I'm gonna have to stop moving the bicep and just keep pulling with the forearm, right? Now, at the end of the stroke, watch what happens with my bicep in order to stay straight. I actually have to come forward a little bit with the arm, right? Not with the shoulder, but with the bicep. So we're in here, then we kind of straighten out, we pull on the forearm, and then at some point we're gonna actually have to get forward with that arm, and the same in reverse. So it's a kind of complicated motion. And when you're working on your bow, you can work on 3 different regions, but I just wanted you to know sort of the parameters of that. Your elbow level is gonna be more or less on your wrist level. It's not an exact thing, but it's definitely not going to be like this, nor is it going to be like this. It's not going to hang down here, right? Because this would mean you have no weight in the bow, you have no meat in there, and this would mean you have kind of ugly pressure, okay? So E, A, D, G, okay? So I'm sometimes a little under, but I'm making sure to bring the elbow around. And lastly, bow changes. If you've got a great bow grip and it's flexible, it's all going to work out fine if you do nothing extra. So, you finish the bow and start another one. Okay? What you don't want is a sudden motion at the frog, particularly because you're trying to do something. Really try to do nothing. That's your best bet. So we don't want a sudden flick. We don't want a sudden motion. We don't want kind of a toss, or to come up really high and then end up going down on the down bow. We don't want any sudden changes of shape. We want to go in with a great bow grip and come out with one. I tend to feel like I'm in a down bow direction even at the end of the up bow. That helps me so that I don't end up too high up here and have to kind of drop down to get down there, okay? A slower bow change is easier than a fast one. They're both possible, but just if you're having trouble, think about that. But work a little bit on doing nothing on your bow changes. That is here, and that's also here. If you can think that you are doing the same weight, speed, pressure, and angle over the change. You're going to hear the bow change a little bit. That's normal, but it's not going to be accented. It's going to be very beautiful. All right, hope that was helpful.